Well, our worst nightmare kind of hit us. Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and Bukayo Saka. I knew and you knew the minute they missed those penalties what was coming, didn't we?
Unfortunately, it was inevitable that we knew what we were going to get. We're up to several hundred reports now, and we've also identified 2 posts of note that relate to yourself.
To me?
Yeah, to you personally.
All right. You'd like to tell me what they say?
Yeah. The N-word.
Both posts use offensive, racist language about my commentary of an England match in June.
The sad thing is I'll just expect it, you know? That's the worst part now. I'm not saying I'm desensitized to it, because it pisses me off when I hear it. It makes me angry, like, do you know what I mean? It really kind of gets to you. So what can I do at this point now?
I view that as grossly offensive, and that's a crime. So what we'll do, we've commenced an investigation. We are trying in the background to identify the source of both of those posts, and we want to work with you to get a statement from you and to pursue a prosecution.
100%. I mean, I am more than happy to give a statement on this situation. My sole goal was hold people to account, find some reform in their lives so they don't behave this way moving forward. But then kind of when I mentioned my name and kind of it directed at me, I don't know, I got angry kind of like straight away and went more direct towards, no, forget conversations. Like, I'm not on the conversation. I want you punished straight away, because who are you to talk to me like that? And just have a go at me for the colour of my skin. You know what I mean? It's just like one of those blood-boiling moments where you just get angry and just want to kind of, yeah.
It takes a bit longer for Twitter to come back than Instagram and Facebook, but as soon as we get something back, I'm sure that if it's positive, we'll let you know as soon as possible.
All right, brilliant. I'm always the type of person, like, I want to look you in your face and, you know, almost dare you to say it again. What is it that has made you pick up your phone and write those words about me?
Imran Ahmed is one of social media's most vocal critics and has been lobbying for them to be more accountable for racism on their platforms.
Why are the government not stronger in this situation? If you're operating within a country, then you should operate within their laws.
The rules that really govern social media companies, which are all American, are American. And in the United States, they passed a law in 1996. A company that produces internet services cannot be held liable for the content produced by a third party, by another person on their platform. So there's absolutely zero liability. In 2021, 25 years later, it's allowed for genocide of the Rohingya, the spread of anti-vax propaganda, the organization funding of domestic terrorists who attacked the Capitol. It's slowly dawning on us, oops, we should have done something, shouldn't we?
These online companies, is it solely about money, the reasoning why they are not acting in the way that we all would hope that they would act?
98% of Facebook's revenue comes from advertising. So how do you keep eyeballs on your site? Well, first of all, you allow people to produce any kind of content they want, and you then monetize the controversy over it. Because the debate over racism takes place on their platforms, which means they're getting the advertising revenue.
In the last few years, Facebook has adapted its timeline algorithms. Imran is one of the many critics who say this change has encouraged divisive and controversial material to flourish.
Their algorithms prioritize the controversy. When you go on, you see the most controversial posts, not the most recent posts. And that invention of structured timelines to keep you scrolling down has fundamentally changed the way that we see the world around us. We think the controversial is normal. It's the first thing we see. Think about what that does across every aspect of society.
After speaking to Imran, I'm now wondering how far social media companies are enabling the trolls, and if they are an even bigger part of the problem than I realised. When I first came here 2 months ago, I didn't expect to be back as a victim of hate crime, giving an official statement.
So we identified 2 comments of
brought them here for you today, just so you can see them. We had a few difficulties, I'm not going to lie about that. Twitter refused to give us the details of the account holders for these.
They refused?
They refused.
For both comments?
For both.
Why would they refuse to do that?
Twitter have told us that the context is not meeting their criteria.
So what is their criteria? I'm confused, because this is blatant racism.
The emails that they were sending us in response to our requests were generic, to do with the context, but Twitter also sent us an email where they mentioned constitutional issues. America has different standards to the UK when it comes to what people can say. They have the Fifth Amendment, which is freedom of speech. And this is where I think the blockage is.
I get that social media companies say that they are a platform for opinion. But we need to ensure individuals are held to account when they are breaking the law in other countries.
I mean, these two comments, you've confirmed that you're offended by them. I deem those to be racist. My boss, the CPS, all deem these to be racist comments.
Yeah.
Yet as soon as we then apply that to then go to Twitter, they then say, we're not giving you the details because we don't think it hits the context.
I don't see how anything is going to change without social media companies being tougher on the trolls. I wanted to ask them about the issues that CCDH and Signify have identified in their studies for us. But Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter have all declined to meet me. All I've had is an email from Facebook and Instagram.
No one should have to experience racist abuse anywhere, and sending it on Instagram or Facebook is against our rules. We share the goal of holding people who racially abuse others accountable, and we do that by taking action on content and accounts that break our rules and cooperating with law enforcement. No one thing will fix this challenge overnight, but we're committed to keeping our community safe from abuse. That's written by a Facebook community spokesperson. It's disappointing. I think it's been one of the biggest issues with social media, is that kind of like robotic nature to it, that lack of personability, that you can't speak to anybody. I got a message from somebody on Instagram that said, Jermaine Jenas, you half-caste cunt. Report it to Instagram and see what they do. And the message came back from Instagram eventually that said, this does not go against our community guidelines. I have to say, this don't feel any better. Everybody seems like they want to have a conversation. Everybody seems like they want to talk. And Facebook and Instagram are still the ones hiding behind their computers, sending messages and sending emails.